Hey, good morning, everyone. As people begin to filter in, welcome to Wizards Council. It's Nick and Fred. We're just waiting on our third bearded wizard to finish his morning show. But good morning, Fred. How are you today, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm
Oh,
doing
there's our
work.
brother. There's our
We
bearded
got
brother. Let's
bring in
pull
bring
him
in
in.
the other bearded my man.
Let's pull in the Lawrence, the wizard. Oh, look at that beautiful shirt right there, my man. What is that?
That's just whatever is that. That's what that
That's
is.
whatever
That's
right
what's
there.
up. Whatever.
Just whatever.
Shit. That, hey, that looks like some sick ass merch for some show that you might have.
Yes. Well, this is indeed merch. We launched a merch store over at Gen Xe, and yeah, paid subscribers get 25% off. What?
Gen
What,
Xe,
what?
Gen Xe, whatever.
Gen Xe sounds like sexy,
What?
baby.
Whatever.
Gen Xe
Ooh,
rhymes with
Gen X
sexy.
sounds sexy.
What's going on here? Did both you boys get beard trims? What's up?
Beard
I
trims?
got it like a
Nah,
week
nah, nah, nah,
ago.
nah, nah. I just,
You know,
I just brushed mine a little differently today.
There's some styling going on or something.
I feel
We
like
got
I
beard
feel like
product
Nick
coming up.
like dyed his chest hair into an American flag because that's how patriotic he is. Right?
So,
I
so
don't
here
think
you
that's
go.
a shirt. I don't think that's a
This was
muscle shirt.
this was my fucking rally shirt for No Kings rally. I was like, what is the most obnoxiously patriotic looking thing I can fucking find at Walmart? And I did. I was like, I know this is not for me. I'm not their target audience, but I'm gonna take it anyways. And then
Hmm.
I had a big ass. I had actually this American flag behind me. I take this one to rallies with me, and I put it on a pole in my backpack, and then I hand out little American flags to everybody else who's there so that all there are just fucking American flags everywhere. Because what you're going to say? Whole bunch of peaceful Americans protesting with
Right.
American
Waving American flags.
flags? What's wrong with that? Isn't that America right there?
It's pretty fucking brilliant, my friend. That's good marketing. That's good PR.
Inception.
Yeah, Inception.
I'm telling you.
Patriotismception. Patriception? No, that
Yeah,
sounds gross.
it sounds like a medical procedure. I had my
That almost sounds
Patrioception the
like our
other
new
day, and oof,
pedodent.
I can't shit, man. I got to tell you, it hurts.
I
I'm
tell you what, I've been thinking about this long and hard, man. And I have
long and
come up.
hard. Ooh,
That's it.
interesting.
That's it.
Nick did it, not me. It was
I'm a,
Nick.
I'm a, I know. I'm gonna stop myself from saying no. Don't. It's a family show.
Do it.
Okay.
No,
Is
no.
it a
No.
What
family show?
is it? A family show?
Yeah, it is a
It's a.
family show because
Are you sure?
I gotta be genteel and I gotta watch myself. But I will take this time to plug Gen Xe had this talk with the lovely Dr. Amber Hall,
Yep.
right?
Hmm.
Great talk this week. You've had a lot of great talks this week. Tell me, let's wrap into that. What kind of talks have we
Oh,
and then Nick and
yeah.
I will get into our talks, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, you guys have been on fire. You guys have been interviewing all kinds of great people. I love it. Yeah, no, we had Dr. Amber Hull on to talk about uh kind of how to be feminist without being a misandrist, like how to kind of stand up for women's rights without kind of coming across as a man hater. She's very, very firm, kind of in that opinion that like she loves men, she just hates the way some men behave online, right? And so she was talking to Dana about the article, right? No, she loves like you guys, you guys are the heroes who like jumped in after Dana's article went viral about, the old men looking at her 16-year-old daughter. Dana got world like just a whole rash of shit from dudes on the internet. And you guys jumped in and were heroes, which was awesome. And so we were talking to Dr.
Hold
Amber
on,
Hull about
hold on.
that.
Before we go any further, I got the chance to look up an Urban Dictionary definition again this week. Haven't gone to that site in ages. Some guy's name was Chad who commented.
Nice.
Oh
So I
Lord.
looked up Chud,
Chad.
what that meant, and I called him a Chud, which is just a basement dwelling
Yeah.
succubus, basically, of a man. It defines incel. He was not happy about that.
Yeah.
But
Cannibalistic
do that.
humanoid
Do that.
underground dweller, dude. Chud.
Yeah, hell yeah. Take that cannibalistic bitch and fucking shove him.
Nick's feeling
I also
spicy
found
today.
some dude. I also told some dude he couldn't find a clitoris. It was like his response was like women attracted to him is like him finding a clitoris. It's never gonna happen.
But
Ooh.
to be fair, man, it's like look, if you don't understand map orientation, if you don't understand land nav, you ain't gonna find it. What I try to tell all the straight men is like, look,
Do north.
go to the feet, right? Start at the feet. Make sure they are in the upright position, right? You can't have them down because if they're down and you go into another spot, right? You ain't gonna hit that. That's the
Right. You're not going to get the clitoris.
no.
Even I know that.
Even
Start at the
Lawrence knows
feet.
this. Come on, guys. Come on.
Work your
other
way
guys.
north, right? But you work your way between it, but in the ravine, and you go north, and you'll hit it. I mean, it's there, right?
It's
If
there.
you got to the
If
belly
you
button,
look.
if you've hit the belly button bowl, you've gone, or the Audi, you've gone too far. Turn south, head back. That's it. It's in
I
a
should have
straight.
taken
It's
that left
usually in
in
a straight line.
Albuquerque.
It might be like a 2-degree deviation
I'm
here and
landing
there.
Santa Fe.
Right.
Right.
It's like you're gonna be like Bugs Bunny. It's like, never. I shouldn't have taken that left turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe a right on La Jolla. It's like there's there it is.
There's that road.
He does say that in one cartoon. He's like, maybe a right on La Jolla. I was like, there's the LA.
Nice. Oh my
There's
God.
the LA
I did not know
reference. Oh man. But
Yeah,
dude,
go back to your show.
that
Come
stuff.
on. Like, you guys had such an incredible lineup of shows.
Yeah,
today,
man.
Or
Yeah,
this
100%,
week. And
dude.
going back to Dr. Hall, she was incredible. That was a great show.
Yeah, she was awesome. We hope to have her back again. She talked about women's health issues. She talked about how she has expatriated to Canada, and just a fascinating, like smart and funny and witty and, informative, totally great person. And we loved having her. And today we just did Fucked Up Friday. We had KR Byers on, and he was awesome. Again,
He had a
super smart.
presentation and everything.
Right. He came to Fucked Up Friday and he was like, "Oh, I got this down. Here's my presentation. Here is my talk track." Like, it was.
He like freaking turned a phone around and played a video and had it was almost like one of those old school like projector presentations where they put the piece of paper down, shine it on the TV.
Oh, those were awesome,
into the
dude.
classroom.
Yeah.
Especially you had the teacher that do the thumb lick and then it clean off like that. Remember that with the overhead projector? Yeah, that's good stuff.
But man, his story did really hit home about how fucked up it actually was. So, Fred, I don't know if you were there to hear it or not. Lawrence, do you want to tell what he was talking about? Because it was fucked up in the end.
Yeah, well, so his preamble was, he talked about the meme that went viral, the video that went viral years ago about the kid who was rapping his own song and like accidentally fired a gun while he was rapping.
Oh, Jesus.
His mom freaked out. It turns out that it was all a play, right? Like, it was probably blank. Like, his mom was in on it. It was all just like negative advertising for his own music. And then he segued into how the whole Sydney Sweeney jeans controversy is actually, negative advertising for American Eagle, but it worked because now they're part of the national conversation and their stock has bumped up 10% in the last week. And so it's just like an example of late stage capitalism where you've got a company that's like, oh yeah, the world's on fire and people hate each other for racism and, and eugenics and white supremacy and whatever. But we're going to play with that. We're going to play into that and just, make our stock bump up.
Well, and that's kind of what I actually did a live on that earlier this week because you had like Sydney Sweeney with American Eagle. And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with the creator Joey Swoll. So he was a really big creator in the fitness community. And, he was at first promoting like gym positivity. And then he kind of went more into Stitch videos, which for those of you who don't know, Stitch content is you take a video from somebody else, usually on TikTok, and you stitch yourself and reacting to it. And his big thing was, and he was doing a really positive thing, which was you have people filming in the gym, people would get caught in their shot, and then they would focus on that person and say, oh, look at this guy, or look at this clown, and they would make fun of him, which in a lot of states, that's illegal, right? And you had people doing that, literally filming and capturing people in the locker room when they had like a towel wrapped around them, making fun of their body image, whatever. And so Joey Swoll was doing a good thing, but then he did a workout for arms in a Hulk Hogan garb, and he doubled down on it, and he got called out on it, and so then it just kind of spiraled from there. And the thing that I'm like, a lot of these companies or entities that engage in this reaction content, which I try to stay away from, right? I will occasionally just to point out, but it's like, for me, there has to be a larger lesson in it. Otherwise, it's if you're just like, eventually you're going to get called out. Eventually you're going to get hammered. And so while American Eagle absolutely did this on purpose, 100%, it's eventually going to bite them in the butt, because now your brand is associated with,
white
you know,
supremacy.
With hate.
I mean, if you guys are interested in what this kind of does, which this was pre social media, just go look at a documentary on Abercrombie and Fitch and how they marketed their brand, which was very much what American Eagle's doing. This sort of Aryan, white, sort of preppy, that white supremacist kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. So the people that are, crowing about this, there's actually a there for marketing. 100%. Is it still an okie doke? Absolutely. Because American Eagle's got us talking about it.
Right.
When we should be talking about, and I'll drop it here, Epstein files, release them. Thank you. Want that happen. Not going to forget about that, Donald.
Right.
We want
that's
them
not
files.
Going away. That's never going away.
No.
It's hit the level now, or that ain't going away until we get to see the fucking Epstein files.
If they don't release them, I could be 88 years old laying on my deathbed and be like, Fred, you've lived such a long life. Do you have any last words? Release the Epstein files. And then I'm going.
Epstein files.
I'm gonna be that petty about it unless we get the whole thing.
His wife
I will
and
not
standing
die
there. You're like,
that,
seriously, Dad, that's your last words? God,
that's my last. That's it.
Put it on my tomb. Put it on my tombstone. Release the Epstein files.
Unfortunately, the crazy virulent racist Stonewall Jackson had the best last words ever, which was, "Let us cross the river and rest under the shade tree."
No. The best last words ever happened to be from Ghostbusters 2. Death is but a doorway. Time is but a window. I'll be back.
Okay, so you want to do you want me to ruin a childhood memory for you, because I ruined it for myself just the other day for Ghostbusters.
Well, I mean, now you've got to.
So I was watching Bobby Brown's On Our Own, which is the theme song for Ghostbusters 2, right? There is a certain New York fixture at around the 2-minute mark that walks out of his building that ends in Tower.
Oh,
and he's in there for 10 seconds. And then right after him, the shot, because it has all these celebrities in it, is Christopher Reeves on a bike, free. And I'm just like, dear God, what is this horror that you've dredged up to me? No.
It's like a death scene.
Yes.
It's like the dog dying in movies. It's like so sad.
I felt like the cold hand of nostalgia on my shoulder saying, do you like your childhood anymore, Frederick? I was like, no, don't show me
upon it with dread and despair.
See, this is why I refuse to let thinking about weird icons from the 80s and 90s is why I refuse to let the right-wing Boogaloo Boy trolls take over the Michelangelo face from the Ninja Turtles, because my first fucking words were turtle power. Like, get fucked, dudes. Literally, my first words were turtle power. I have the 4 Ninja Turtle shells tattooed on my ribs because of it. Like,
wow.
I want to get them redone so they're more badass.
I have no problem seeing little Nick with full beard running around in a Ninja Turtle suit. Like, I can see it.
Turtle power.
I had more than one. I will be honest.
Sure.
I am a depending on the day. Nerd for the Turtles. Like, April, damn, that girl was fine. Like, I don't, but like, they drew a pretty lady, and man, they got my attention as a kid. I was like, okay, I know I like her.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I was always hoping that Casey Jones would, get some help, and then hook up with April, and he'd move out of the sewers. It was like maybe get a job as a sanitation employee so he could still hang out with the homies.
Just
But
clean up a
but
little bit outside their house.
yeah,
It's like
like
they're
but
made in a
it's like
mask.
he cleaned himself. I think one episode he did go for a job interview, which was hilarious because he was in a suit, but he still had his like golf
It's
club.
hot.
Yeah, he still had the mask and the wild hair and all that stuff. And he's doing a job interview. But I was like, there was always a part of me is like, why don't you just you got that nice woman right there. Go ahead, man. Make an honest life for yourself. You ain't got to live in these
Yeah.
sewers anymore, baby.
Yeah, it's like the reverse Hallmark movie. It's like
right.
he's moving out the shitty slums and he's taking on this beautiful woman. Like, man, I'm gonna be house husband to her.
That's
And
it.
you know,
Yeah,
he fucking
mean,
should have. All he had to do was that. So he had
I
the
mean,
pizza oven and the microwave with the little things that came out that one time, the aliens that ate her
like she comes
apartment.
home and she's like, man, I can't get this source to open up. Oh, that's terrible. Like, what's his name? Where does he live? Oh, okay. And so then Casey Jones goes and beats up the source. He's like, you're gonna talk to April. Bam.
Do what you know.
That is the rom-com that I want to see at this
Yes.
Man, I think you just pitched it. There's a studio out there somewhere that wants to make that movie.
Right?
And
we
if
just got to get the rights to
there's
it.
three of us. There's three of us right here who can start that movie. And I'm sure there's some left-wing actresses out there who'd play April and come join us. So Fred can wear a hockey mask. He's big enough. He's got the body for a Casey Jones.
Yeah.
It's true. Honestly, if I was gonna, I'm thinking about it now. If I was gonna get a popular culture tattoo, I would do it right here, and it would be Robert Shaw being devoured by Jaws from Jaws, like that shot of him, where it's chomping down on him on the boat, and then I would just have under and hang in there,
Nice. I could
just keep swimming.
I could make that for you on a t-shirt.
Put the Dory quote, just keep swimming underneath.
Yeah, there you go. When life hands you lemons.
It's but a scratch.
Right.
It's but a flesh wound.
It's a flesh wound.
You never know what you're going to get on the Wizards Council, folks.
It's just the three of us bullshitting up over here.
It is. It's the end of a long week. It's funny. Like just a shout out to Kat and So. So like I did an impromptu live last night. Like it was like all the stuff from like Dana and what's happened with our homegirl Fusen, little sister, and all this stuff that's going on. I was like, man, my heart's. It's like I had to give a testimonial, like we was in church, man. It's like my heart's heavy, and I got to come talk to the congregation about how I'm feeling. And so it's like, I did a good 55 minutes. It's like I feel pretty good. And then I saw Kat and So had a live. Literally, like the first minute, it's like, oh, Frederick's on the same time we are. I was like, oh, snap. I was like, oh man, damn, my bad. So
for
those of you who are here, go over to Kat and So. They, I'm dropped the line, Kat. They interviewed. They had a good guest. So make sure you check out that after you check out our stuff.
Dr. Lynn, I think it was.
Yeah. Right.
That's the second time we've seen them with Kat and So. And again, go subscribe to those two. They're freaking amazing.
Yeah, they're doing good stuff. They're doing real good stuff.
Psychology and mental health is really important right now.
Yes.
Dr. Litton.
Yeah, Dr. Litton. She's on Substack too, so if you can find her, I believe, right, Kat? Find her, subscribe to her, help her build up, help those three become like a permanent nighttime show, because that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that's the thing, and that's the thing that I didn't mention Dana stuff because like I'd be too mad about it because I would just rant, because of the stuff with the Epstein files and everything else. It's like but man, I'll just say this real quick. How the hell are people gonna come online and tell a mom how to feel about her 16-year-old daughter?
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Right. What?
Like, especially men. Like, especially men. Come on now. What are we doing? Like, no. When did that just become like? Unfortunately, I can't reach through the screen and pull them out and slap the taste out of their mouth. But and this is the thing that was weighing on me, man. Is like When have we gotten to let these weak, sex pest, horrible dudes run this conversation? I'm
Yeah,
sick of that, man. I mean, I'm
they're
really
the
in.
weak ones.
Right.
They're the
It's
ones who
like,
sit behind a computer and just type bullshit. Whereas we come on with our faces and we call it out. They're
Yeah.
weak as shit.
dude, it kills me where it's like, it's all this disrespectful, horrible ass stuff, right? And then they're the ones that are, got their faces out there and everything else. So this is what I'm saying. It like for any man who's listening, you see this stuff, man, call them out,
Yeah.
right? Because listen, you ain't gonna change their mind, but women they need to see it.
Women
It's
need
like,
to see that we care.
yeah. I was watching. So one of the creators on YouTube I like to watch, Park Rose Permaculture, right? And she was talking about how she doesn't trust leftist men, and this is not the first time I've heard this. You know,
Hmm.
and it's because of like basically straight, especially straight white males, and and this is not like, oh, well, we're not trusted, we're looked at. It's like, well, we are for a reason,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
We're not considered safe, especially on the
Why do
left.
women cross the street for us? Like
Right,
women do it because of us.
right,
Right.
We have to admit that.
yeah,
I've literally had women cross this, walking down the street, opposite directions. Literally had women cross the street when they see me coming, and like, I mean, I'm a giant pussycat. First of all, gay, not gonna hurt you. Jenna is a pussycat, but I look like this, and so
Hmm.
women cross the street, and I'm sure you
And
guys
no,
probably have
when
the
I
and I
same
don't
when
get
I
experience.
see
offended.
that, when I
I
see
used to
that
get offended.
to try to make them safer, I yell
Hmm.
at them and then start chasing after them
Yeah.
and say, I'm safe, I'm
You have to catcall
safe.
them while they do it. You have to scream at them to remind them how manly you are.
Mhm.
Yes.
I used to like thinking about this, like I used to get offended when I was younger, when I was a lot younger, that women would do that. Like I was like, why are you doing that? I'm safe. But then I realized
You
it
can't
fucking ain't
tell.
about me. It
Right.
ain't
No,
about me. I'm
No.
not the
no.
one who's not safe, but I look unsafe. And it's okay that women do that. Sorry. It's not fucking okay that women
Right.
have to do that.
Right.
It
Yeah,
is
there we
okay
go.
that they do that
Well,
Right.
it's
because
like,
they
Because we
have
understand.
identified a safe way to like extricate themselves from us and remove us from a situation. But you also remember, like, we also all put out subtle signs that we care and that we're safe. Like, you being yourself and showing your real personality shows through when you're a safe person. Like, if you're a safe person to come up to, people will eventually come up to you. I've had it happen. I'm a mid-sized random white dude with a dad bod. Like, but I used to not be quite so fluffy. Um, uh, but I've had women come up to me in a bar and go, "Hey, can you be my boyfriend for a second?" Yeah,
yeah,
fuck
I've
yeah.
had it happen too.
You just sit there and
Oh
you
yeah,
just
me
go,
too.
"Hey, girl, I'm glad you finally made it." Or you don't even have to touch them. You just put your hand next to them and show that you're safe for them because they don't want you to touch. They don't want
Right. Right.
more
Yeah.
than what they've asked for. And you give people space to go, "Hey, please come up to me," and you make yourself known in subtle ways. And you don't even try. If you're trying, you're faking it. Like if you're safe, people will identify and notice it. Like, don't be offended when people cross the road. It's okay. It's okay.
What
Yeah.
I tell women when they do that in the situation for me is like, I tell them is like, listen, baby girl, I will give you the Saturday night, one night special of Frederick Pogue. It's 2 minutes and 17 seconds, baby. Woo!
Damn. Good for you
I
setting
know.
your own
Damn,
record,
you got
I
Frederick.
bump
know.
those. Those are rookie numbers. You got bump those numbers
No, no,
up.
Right.
no,
Right.
no. We
Yeah.
like, if anything, I'm trying to get
That's his
lower. So I'm
PR,
trying,
man. Don't
you
you
know,
harsh on his PR. He ain't going for the
I'm
WR.
I
trying to
ain't
go
yucking
lower.
no. I
I'm
ain't
trying to
yucking
go lower.
nobody's yum.
They call me one round knockout, baby. Come on now.
Right. One round and you're knocked out for the rest of the night. I get it. I get it.
Yes, pretty much.
Robin asked in the chat, Lawrence, have you ever put on extra gay to show women that you're safe? I have a billion percent done that. Absolutely.
First of all, Robin, stop stirring the pot. Just stop. Okay. Stop stirring the pot. That's Robin. For those who don't know, Robin Wilding and her channel, her Substack. She is a habitual pot stirrer. That's her whole bag.
I
You
mean,
know,
We're gonna get her on one of these shows too.
she is a
Maybe not the
comedy
Wizards
writer.
Council, but we're
Like,
gonna get her on a show here soon,
oh, for sure,
and
for
she's
sure,
gonna
you
stir the
should.
shit out of the pot for us.
yes, she is. And not in a misogynistic way, of course, right?
No,
Just in
no,
a comedic, just Gen X kind of stirring the pot kind of way. You know
oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
and the point of platforms like this for us, we're not here. We're here for the men to tell them that they need to like level up their game a
Up
little
their
bit.
game.
Well,
Yeah.
well,
But we're also here for. But we're also
let's
here.
let's clarify. Well, some of us are here for the men more than others. Okay, let's just be
Oh
real.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
we don't want to have false advertising. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like
Well,
I don't want to get people. I don't want to get
roughly
people's hopes up.
half,
You know what I mean?
roughly halfway through.
I don't want to get. I don't want to get people's. I don't want to get certain folks' hopes up. I love yous, but like, yeah, we can't be making promises we can't back up.
But we're also here. Well, that was what I was told. Actually, funny you said backup. My in a daily whatever one time I was told my OnlyFans needed to be backup focus, or back end focus, um, because I'm a back end software engineer, so back end focus
Mm.
and other jokes,
I
because.
mean, you'd make bank. I can tell you that.
Oh, I bet I would. I was listening to the foot thing about the OnlyFans foot show with like dressing your feet up in wedding attire and things like that. People pay for that shit. It's weird as fuck, but hey,
Dude,
if you want to pay me for my feet, okay,
I've gotten some
that's
crazy
your
ass requests,
fetish.
let me tell you.
I'm surprised, Lawrence, you honestly haven't done like where you do like an OnlyFans kind of thing or a Patreon where it's just you reading your science fiction, and it's just like you could have story time with Daddy Lawrence. I'm telling you, there's a there, right?
There's a there. There
Teddy
is a
bear
there
time
there.
with Lawrence.
It's story time with
Story
Daddy
time with Lawrence.
with
Yeah.
Daddy Lawrence. It's got to be
Mm,
Daddy Lawrence, right?
Daddy Lawrence.
Yeah, where it's just him like sitting in a comfortable chair reading a book.
Right. I put on my, come on, baby. I'm just gonna read to you. Just
That's
down.
there. It is.
Just
There
relax.
it is. That's it.
Let me read you a story.
Nah.
Right.
See, that's what it's like.
Real good night.
That's what I'm gonna do. Is like my OnlyFans would just be me reading like feminist literature, so like Ethics of Ambiguity,
Right.
which I got on my shelf. It's like, and it would just be like, so here today we're going to read Jessica Valenti's Full Frontal Feminism.
Right.
Just the
Or
most
Mark.
N,
Like
just
you
the
can
most
literally read
NPR
anything.
voices.
Yes, that's it. we've got
Papa Bear Lawrence. Ooh.
That's it. Papa Bear. There we
Yeah,
go.
Papa Bear. That's
There
what
we
we're
go.
talking about.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's like I'm digging
Story
this.
time. Brandon, that's it. We're stealing that from you, brother.
That's it. Story
Yeah.
time with Papa Bear Lawrence.
I'm telling you, my OnlyFans might be making a comeback.
Yeah, make that money. Make that money. So
I would start an OnlyFans, but it would just be me because I'd want to make sure that I'm supporting myself. So it would just be an OnlyFan. Like it's just me.
You're the only subscriber.
That's it. It's just like this is my OnlyFan because I love myself, or at least I'm trying to.
do we think we could get
No.
like a chatterbait thing going?
Oh my goodness. I don't know what that is. So you have
It's
to
exactly what you think it is.
I don't go to that part of the internet. That's where
I don't normally either, but I actually applied for a job there once.
a chatterbait.
Inadvertently at first, I was like, "Oh, this company sounds great," and then I read in. They sent me the link on what they did, and I read into it, and I was like, "Huh, okay, I'm cool with this."
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Dude.
all it is like chat rooms for people to open up a not safe for work chat space,
Right.
where you can pay to request things. It's a safe space. The creators own their content and they own who's in there, just like sort of like these lives. And it's lives, and they can do lives and they can schedule things. It's rather interesting. And it's a safe place in terms of creator space because, like I said, they own their content in ways that other places don't. And that's what I thought was cool about them.
Yeah. It's actually a great company. And I applied for a product manager job there. Yeah.
They told me I was too back end focused.
I doubt that they
That
said
was
that.
literally basically how they said. They didn't say it in those words, but they sent me an email back. They're like, "You're not fit for this position because your resume is too back end, with too much of a back end focus." And I was like,
I
"You know
I
what you're talking about."
I'm polite. I'm politely laughing, but I would laugh harder if I knew what this was.
But
Then because I don't.
it's a porn thing.
Right. Yeah.
It's porn
Basically,
chat room.
Oh, porn as in that's short for
Porn.
pornography. I'm tracking.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
for
pornography.
pornography. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Play-
Okay.
Pornographic material, sir. Not safe for work, as they might say.
Right. Right.
Oh, okay.
And
Unsafe for childhood
SW.
settings.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen a Playboy in the archives for research when I was a grad student at the library. But I mainly for the articles. There were some articles I wanted to read on the
Right. Right.
topic.
It was the Jimmy Carter interview. Right.
Yes.
Was
Oh,
that one.
of course. I mean, they had great interviews. Really great interviews.
Right.
So,
Right. And great writers.
of
Yeah.
course, they actually
Thinking
did.
about it. Thinking about interviews. Fred, did we get to talk to anyone cool today this
Oh
week?
yeah. Seriously, who did you guys talk to this week?
Oh my God. Like we talked to another Fred,
We talked to Fred Wellman.
Right.
Mhm.
We talked to Tim Fullerton.
We did.
So let's go in order of appearances. We talked to Tim Fullerton on Tuesday. He's
We
with
talked to
Find Out
Tim.
Podcast. And wow, Tim is cool. He's also willing to come back on the show again.
Yes.
And I'm reaching out to some of the other folks on the team. We also got a second co-host of the Find Out Podcast and another fellow veteran and resident Nazi hunter, Chris Goldsmith,
Yeah.
yesterday. That was a really great talk.
Nice.
That
And
was.
then
Chris is, man, he is, dude, I can't say enough about him. The guy is switched on. Like he is freaking about it. Great,
Mhm.
great interview. Like, he's posted on his Substack. He's in a documentary, talking about fascism and the spread of hate groups that have gone international.
I
Definitely,
reposted that on my Substack.
yeah,
too.
definitely worth a
Please take a
watch,
look
right?
at it.
Right
So
on.
It's the one with the big ass swastika, and it's really hard to watch, but it's really, really worth it because it's here.
yeah,
We ain't fucking around. Like fascism is here.
Right.
Um,
Do you
and
remember
then
the
we had
title of it
another.
by any chance?
Oh, I'll just drop the link to my
Yeah.
restack in here. And then we also had our midweek interview was with Fred Wellman, who's another veteran, huge advocate. He's out of Missouri. I've gotten to know him over the last couple months, and man, is Fred a good dude. And that was
Fred is
so
a
much
really
fun. So
good
the
dude.
Fred Square show was so much fun. And man, you guys got to go listen to all of them. Listen to our shows. Oh, here it is. Finding the repost. Dropping it in the chat. This is the one for this is not that one. The link I just put is not safe for children. Do not have your children watch this. Don't watch it with your kids. Watch it with your spouse or your significant other or your friends who are adults. It is not
Right.
safe for kids, but it's
Got it.
super important. It is super important to understand the rise of fascism and how
Yep.
we let it seep in and didn't fucking do anything about it.
Yeah, and that's the one. I think a lot of the stuff that we struggle with today is people just really don't know what like fascism means, right? Because we were taught even in our generation to be scared of communists, right? And then that got perverted to basically mean anybody that wasn't ultra far right, And so fascism, the like people don't even really like understand like World War II anymore, right? Especially that, I think that might as well be the Civil War.
Right.
People don't even think the Holocaust happened half the time.
Yeah,
You ask
and
kids nowadays if the Holocaust happened, and they're like, "What's that?"
Oh God.
right,
Yeah, that's crazy.
yeah, and so you're running into this where fascism doesn't really mean anything, and that's why you kind of have to talk about it, and because part of the work we have to do is say this is fascism, this is why it's fascism.
Right.
Like, this is why it's happening. Some people are like, oh, we shouldn't really use that word. You should try to focus on what they're doing. It's like, no, we need to tie it to fascism. We need to tie
Fascism
it to,
is what they're doing. Like
exactly.
we
You
we
know,
shouldn't we can't shy away from words because words mean things. So when I was in training for the military, one of the things, and I don't talk a lot about what I did in the military, but I got some training on the idea of how to talk to people in human interaction and interacting personably to get information from people in a good way. The like you have to, and the one thing that they said to us while they were teaching us was words mean things, use the right ones.
mhm,
Because if you use the right words to explain things or even just say things really simply, people get it. Like fascism is bigotry
mhm,
manifested as a government.
Right.
Fascism is hate as a government. Fascism is destruction as a government. Fascism is control as a government.
Right.
And all of the things, the actions that they're doing, tied right into fascism is government because they are doing the fascistic things. It's attack the personality and the traits that they're presenting to us that are hateful. We can wipe that shit out. Like I keep getting comments on my videos of like, why push back on that? Like, that's not fascism. What are you talking about?
we got to
If you
stop
don't
that.
fucking
Like,
talk about it, if you
Yeah.
don't talk about it,
Right.
of course it's not fascism because you think it's regular.
we got to stop. We got to stop this. That's the thing that kills me the most on the left is we're so worried about the margins on the one specific outlier that we might be wrong about or
Right.
doesn't quite fit. And
Right.
so then we boil this crap down into this academic gobbledygook that no one cares about, right? It's like, look, misogyny is hatred of women.
Mhm.
Yep.
Pure and
You hate
simple.
women.
That's what it is.
Period. Period.
Misogyny is hatred of women because here's the thing you always see from misogynists and people in the manosphere. Well, we don't hate women, but all that stuff that leads up to hating women.
Right.
And say, no, because you're doing X, Y, and Z, you hate women. I don't
Right.
hate women.
So
Yes, you do, because
Right.
you're doing X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. The
so what we
behavior
taught
is
our
hate. Like these are the behaviors. You can say whatever you want, but the actual impact, the consequence of your words and actions is hatred against women.
Right.
Therefore,
yeah,
you are a misogynist.
yeah. Like
Right. It's like,
we were taught
When
as
you
kids, anything after the word but negates everything before it. So
right.
if you
when
say,
you are
I like women, but you don't like women.
when you are disrespecting a mother who is talking about men, leering at her 16-year-old daughter, and you're
Right.
telling her how she should feel and that she's a bad mother and her daughter is, all kind of slur words, you are a misogynist and you hate women.
Right.
Yes. Plain and simple,
That's
pure, easy.
that's not that. Listen, I'm not here to make you feel better about that. I'm here to
Mhm.
talk about what you're doing and why it's wrong. And that's it. You know, deal with it. Be
But
Yeah.
better. Do better.
And here,
That's it.
don't
and
explain why they're the misogynist. Tell them they are and tell them the points that they need to fix. Don't explain to them in like, oh, you're a misogynist because you do these things and this thing. No, you're a misogynist because you hate women and you call them this. Period.
well,
End of story. Don't explain yourself to them. Make them explain themselves.
and if you sit down, if you sit down at a table with 5 Nazis, you know what? There's 6 Nazis at the table because
Yeah.
if you
If you
know they're
if you
Nazis and
sit
you're
down
sitting
with
with them,
one, there's six.
yeah.
Because like there's a point where it's like you can educate folks, right? But they have to be open to it. But then there's also a point where they're doing something in public or they're doing something horrible, and you just say, "Hey, we don't do that. No, that's wrong. Stop it." And that's it. You know, and that's where you have to be. Now, again, I got big ass, fella privilege. I'm 6'5". I'm a big dude. I can do that in public. You know, people may not be able to do that. And that's
Mhm,
fine if you can't. But it's like the thing is, you don't need to go back and forth and explain. Well, you're wrong because of blah 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 blah. No, just tell them they're wrong. It's sexism.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
misogyny. It's homophobia. It's racism.
Simple
It's
words.
bigotry.
Yep.
You know,
Just don't even use homophobia because they're not afraid of gay people. They're just bigots.
that's it.
Like
Oh, there you
I
go.
hate the
Yes.
words homophobia. I hate transphobia. I hate
Right.
those terms because you're not afraid of trans people. You're not
Good
afraid of
point.
gay people.
Right. You just
You're
Great
hate
point.
them.
just a bigot and an ass. Like,
Right.
let's stop using their words because that's a right wing word. Like, it's time we take back the like words and
Yeah.
like meaning. Like, I like to use I'm pro life because you know what? I'm fucking pro life. I don't want people to die after they're born. I care about the woman who is carrying that child more than the child inside of her because she's here on this fucking earth walking right now and somebody cares about her. And you know who that somebody is? Herself.
Right.
Doesn't
Yeah.
need to be anybody else in the whole world. She's here. She's alive.
Yeah.
Not the other thing. And I get it. I get it. Children and babies are super important. I am not against children. I have children of my own. I love my kids. And I encourage people to have kids if you're ready for them and you're willing to have them and teach them and care for them for their entire fucking life. Not just 18 years, not just 6 months, not just any time. Their whole fucking life. You're a parent until they die. My
Yeah.
parents are still my parents. They're now my friends as well, but they still parent me because they care. If you're going to be a parent, you have to care. But like this whole, it's all bullshit. It's all,
Yeah.
they hate women. They want control. And I'm tired of being fucking told that that I can't use words like pro-life. I have to be pro-choice. No, I'm pro-life because I choose to let women control their own body and have bodily autonomy because I have bodily autonomy and everybody deserves the same that I get. Like, right? The
Yeah.
golden rule. If you're Christian, the whole fucking golden rule is do unto others as you want done unto you. So
Well, that's yeah,
do
and that's
unto
the
others like you want. Like, if you want to be happy, fucking let other people be happy, man.
well. It's the thing is, man, I don't hate women because I'm not afraid of them. You know, I don't
But you
hate
got to
gay
be
folks.
afraid of.
I don't hate gay or LGBTQ folks because I'm not afraid of them. I don't hate trans people because I'm not afraid of them. They're people.
No,
You know,
yeah,
and
the
there's gonna
people.
be and it's like, hey, well, we want to go live our gay lifestyle. Man, go for it. Go over there and do it. You know, like I want to do women. I want to do this with my body. Man, go for it. As long as it's safe for you, you know, and it's not hurt. Like, go do it. You know,
I was
that's the
listening
thing.
to
Go ahead, man.
Wendy talk last night too, because there were three lives going on. Wendy had a live too at the same time, and she had a guest on. I don't remember her name, and but she transitioned, and she had a really incredible story about like her whole story was like I'm tired of the label of having to explain that I need to exist. Like, I'm tired of being at the
Yeah.
point where we're
Right.
still at explaining that I should just exist or basic like existence. I want to get to the point where we can talk about beyond acceptance of like, we're welcome, we're accepted here. And I think that's so meaningfully like small change in how we talk about things is like, I accept that gay people exist. I accept that trans people exist. I accept that straight people exist. I accept that everybody else exists because you know why? We're here. We all exist. I can see, I interact. I'm not fucking closed minded. I know because but we're there. We're just here. Like, stop debating existence and we don't even need to debate existence. We're all here.
Right.
We exist. Like, fundamental, easy. It's
Here's
civics, right?
here's how I was, and I said this on my live last night, where this is how I look at it, right? And being a humanist, and I know Lawrence has talked about this topic a few times on human sovereignty, right?
Mhm.
And part of how I look at it is for humanity, the whole reason you're here, the whole reason you study, the whole reason we explore this world is to expand our knowledge and our understanding, both of the macro outside of the world outside of us and the world inside of us, right? Biology, all that stuff. Gay folks, trans folks, all these other non-binary, all these other expressions, whatever, to me is an expansion of the understanding of humanity.
Right.
It's not a question whether I tolerate them or I accept them. What it is it's when you bring them in, like when you allow them the space to express who they really are, you are increasing and expanding the understanding of humanity. That's to me that's the sole purpose of being here,
Right.
right?
And Fred, I'll riff on that and just say like it is exhausting. Speaking as a gay dude who lived on the West Coast for years and has moved back to the Midwest and Indiana, like just explaining your existence to people over and over again is
Yeah.
exhausting, right? Like it drains you and it wears you down to, like I'll meet people and they'll be like, oh, oh, you married, tell us about your wife and kids. And just that, like I'm not complaining, overall, but that kind of frame of having to sort of explain yourself on first introduction over like I like to say, and I didn't originate this, every queer person has experienced this. Coming out isn't a one-time thing. It's literally something you do every fucking day. If you're meeting a new person or entering a new situation, someone's going to ask, right? Like, oh, are you married? Do you have kids? And then you have to choose, how do I answer that question? I could just say no, or it could be like, oh no, actually, whatever. So yeah, like just
It's also
having your existence questioned repeatedly is fucking exhausting.
Oh, I
it's
bet it
also
is.
really interesting coming from because I came from the West Coast too at some point. Like um I've traveled all over the country, but I lived in the Seattle area for almost 10 years. Like
Yeah,
I think it was almost 10 years of my life. And coming out to Arkansas, not back, I'm not originally from here, but coming out to Arkansas, we moved here not because we liked the policies or the politics, but because we could afford it and it was a convenient place between family. Um, and a great way for us to center ourselves in terms of where our families were so that we could have our kids grow up with families around them. Um, but you're right, it's the subtle shifts in language, but it's without having to. I think the big thing that we need to, part of this is like the discussion on words, because
Mhm.
words mean things,
right.
is how do we shift subtle shifts in language without making it feel or become an oppressive purity culture, because that's what the right is doing right now. And that's what the left has done to itself. There's a lot of instances where we purity culture ourselves,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get into the topic today because it's a really tough topic, and I don't think I'm the right person or we are the right people to talk about it. But it was brought up this morning in the daily, whatever was the Pete Buttigieg thing. I don't know if we're the right people to talk about it right now. Maybe we are. Maybe we need to have this discussion, but I don't want to do it right now. And I think if you haven't heard, there's some controversy around something that Pete said around trans athletes. And
Yeah.
I'm not the right person to weigh in on it because I'm not trans and I'm not an athlete. I'm not anymore. And I don't really care. I think kids, especially kids, should have the right to play in sports, no matter what their gender. Doesn't matter. If they break a high school record, who gives a shit? It's a high school record. Like it's not a world record or anything. It's a high school
Right.
town record that this kid just happened to break doing something they loved. Let them do that. But I don't want to get into the discussion of adults because that's an entirely different topic. And it's really hard as a passing straight white man to have that conversation without being derogatory or offensive to a group because, one, I'm not part of that group and I don't have the language to talk about it nuanced in the right ways. But we can learn to talk about it nuanced, and we can learn to talk about it where it's in a way that it's not hurtful to people.
I
Because
think
the whole point is to eliminate the hurt. Like I don't want people excluded from things and I don't want people hurt, but I want reality. And I'm not saying, no, please don't get me wrong. I am not saying trans people don't belong in sports. I think they do. I think trans people should be in sports at any level because everyone should have the right to pursue happiness, whatever that may be. And if we want to find a middle ground where we say have a non-specific gender league, not to pander to trans people, not to pander to people, but because we want to create a league where everyone competes on the same level, that may be a different conversation because we're not banning, we're not pushing away. We're trying to invite in and create a space. It's a space for conversation and democracy, or it's space for people in existence. Like we're not saying trans people don't exist because they do. They deserve the same sovereignties and like. right to their happiness that I do. So let them. It's America. Fucking let them. We're supposed to be the capital of freedom in the world. We're not, but we're
I
supposed to
think
be.
I think what's sort of like and this is where the bigots can kind of take hold, right? Is
Hmm.
this notion of, so I'm the norm, I'm normal, then thus everything outside of me is abnormal, right? And you've seen this with gay people, and trans people are just now the next iteration for that, right? Because part of becoming accepted is you become mundane, you know.
Right.
Because let's say I'm in a coffee shop 25 years ago. Lawrence is with his boyfriend and they have a little smooch. Oh my God, two guys just kissed. Like, nowadays, that's not a big deal. It's like,
Right.
whatever. It's just,
Hmm.
but the thought process goes, oh, it must be dating, you know? And that's it. Because if you see a man and a woman and they do the same thing, it's like, oh, they must be newly dating, or maybe, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But with trans folks, there's still that sort of, you know, oddness about it, right? It's not quite like it's no big deal. It's getting there, right? But it's still that for mainstream America. And one of the things the bigots do is like, well, what about sports? What about sports? It's like there's like 3 trans athletes at the high school level in the entire nation.
Right. Like, Morgan is
Yeah,
kind of
like
making that comment in the chat as well.
Like,
Like, there's nearly zero people who are trans in sports. Like
but
it really is like the most edgy of edge cases. And
yeah,
hmm
it's here's the exception, and and so the problem with like and Gavin Newsom did this. Pete Buttigieg fell in the same trap. All these Democrats fall in the same trap because they let the Republicans frame the conversation, and then they go and then they it's like they pull you into this edge, right? Whereas what we need to do is pull it back and say, what about the trans woman who was fired at work, right?
yeah,
What about these bigots that want to go, like in UK, want to go into the bathroom stalls and check people's genitals, right? Like, what about that? What about all this other mainstream bigotry that's happening now, where trans folks they're not able to get the health care they need. They're being discriminated against. They're being, attacked in the city streets because of this crap, right? When chances are your small town probably will never, like, and it acts like, like there's an entire army of trans folks going, all right, we're going to enter all the sports and we're going to break all the records because fuck everyone else. It's like, that's not happening.
no,
That is absolutely not happening.
no. These
You
kids
know,
just want to live too. Like they
right.
right.
just want to be
It's,
kids.
but, I was a high school athlete, right? I played basketball. Do you know how many basketball players there were? There's like 15 of us out of a graduating, like out of 1,000 in my school, right? So, this notion but this is what they do, right?
Hmm.
To distract from the real stuff. It's like, oh my God, drag story time. They're corrupting our kids. Yeah, well, what about all these Republicans that get arrested for child porn and
Right.
and sex trafficking and this
Hmm.
and
Right.
this and this and the
How come
Epstein
it's
files?
always a
What about
church
all
youth
that?
pastor? Right. Like,
You
Yeah.
know,
why
what
is
about
it
the
always
Never
a
the
Catholic?
church
drag
youth
queen,
pastor?
always the pastor.
Yeah.
What about the Catholic Church and all the stuff they did? Right? Maybe
Or the
it's
fact
like,
that
but
the Trump administration is suing to have the law that requires churches to report child sex abuse to be overturned.
right there.
Why do you
Thank
think
you.
that is? Because
Right.
they're protecting pedophiles and terrible people. It ain't the drag queens, it ain't the trans people, it ain't the gay people. I'm tired of having to explain the existence of people who just want to live their fucking lives. You know who should
Yeah.
explain their existence? Nazis. Why the fuck do you believe what you do?
Right.
You're a piece of shit, is what you are.
Seriously, how do
It,
you look back in history and pick an ideology that was defeated globally, you know, and decide, you know what, I believe that, and I think I want to bring that back. Everything old is new again. Let's be Nazis again. Where
all,
the
all,
fuck
be,
does that
all,
come from?
all because, you got somebody that was born a man and, is, feels like a woman. And then, they're trying to figure it out because biology ain't perfect. You know, if it was, we have all these, babies, cleft palates, brains outside their head, organs outside their body. biology gets crossed up. It happens, you know.
Like
And so,
intersex people and people who are between genders are a natural thing.
yeah,
Like it's
Right.
normal. In fact, the Greeks turned them into deities of sorts, like human, vessels of the gods, because they revered them. They were like, they were the oracles. They were vessels of God. Why do you think these people were so fucking revered? Because they're one, they've existed forever.
Forever.
Ever. Humans have been either straight, gay, trans, somewhere in between for fucking ever.
Right.
and
It's
these are
literally
the
in
same
every
fools.
species too.
Judaism has 6 genders, right?
Yeah.
Like
Don't tell me that I can't be I can't be pro transgender as a Jewish man. Like
These are the
there's
these are the
6
same.
fucking genders. Get fucked,
Exactly.
Christians.
These are the same fools that still believe in that would still believe in geocentric theory, that the sun revolves around the earth. These are the same fools like everything was great in the 50s. That is asbestos, you fool. Everything wasn't great. You
Right.
know,
Women were doing
Right.
drugs just to not murder their husbands in the 50s. They were doing what was it? Like
Right.
Valium or
If
lithium
you were
just so
anything
they
other than a
didn't
white
murder their
man, the
husband.
50s were not a laugh factory. Like, come on.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's and again, it's something that you pointed out, Lawrence, is like it's these guys that look like me that are in my category that I never have to explain who I am. I never have to
Nope.
like
Never once had to explain
I'm
my
the
person.
default, right? The only thing I get explained is usually a compliment. It's like, "Are you married? Do you have kids?" "No." "I can't believe that. You're not." "What?" Like
Right.
that's what I get, right?
Right. No, for sure. You
And
get the assumption that you're probably on their side, right? They look at you and they're like,
oh,
oh,
dude,
there's another
do
big
you know?
white guy. I can talk to him about MAGA and he gets it. He's
Do you know
QAnon.
how many times I've been and when I worked in aviation or anything, and I'd come up and be like, "Is like, man, these guys are lazy, but those N words, like, just they don't even know me, and they
Right.
drop it." You know,
It's when the fact that bigots feel so comfortable just dropping casual
yeah,
racism, because it's to them it's casual. They must do it all the time because they feel comfortable enough to say
Right.
it to some random stranger who
Well,
kind of sort of looks like them. Like the
and
amount of times that shit has been said at me about like Jewish people
for
or
sure, it's
things like
bonding.
that.
It's
I have a
slavery,
big
right?
fucking Star of David tattooed on my forearm,
I didn't
and
know you
people
had that.
come
That's
up
amazing.
and go, "Oh yeah, it's actually my grandmother's star." It actually means a lot to me
nice,
in
It's
terms
man.
of this
beautiful.
one. I have more than a few tattoos. I want to eventually get a full sleeve,
Yeah.
for both.
What does your
I'm
tramp
hoping to
stamp
get
look
some,
like, Nick?
huh?
What does your tramp stamp look like?
Oh, I don't have a tramp stamp yet, but I'll show you my side
Man, get the
stamps.
hell out of here, man.
Yeah, get them turtle shells.
You know what? Here you go, baby. There you go. Look at that. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Look at
damn.
that.
Oh,
Damn.
Yeah.
he's a Marine.
Look
He's
at
a
Damn
that.
right.
Marine.
Damn
Look at that.
right.
It's the gun show up in
Fucking
here, everybody.
Marines.
That's it.
I'm surprised you don't
0351,
have a
baby.
crayon tattooed on your
The
arm.
boom boom. The bunker opener. Ba-boom. Let's get
I
it.
love it. I've got 2 on my back. Actually, one I designed. Is it this shoulder? No, it's that shoulder. This one, I can't get fully naked, but I designed this one. Damn it. I'm
I
going to take my shirt down.
do a bathrobe show, and then you
Do
can
a
do whatever the fuck
bathrobe
you want.
show. Oh, I'll show that one eventually. It's a treble clef that I designed when I was in high school.
Nice.
That's sort of just coming out of the skin. It's super cool. Yeah, we'll have to do like a tattoo show off. Lawrence,
I
where's your
got none,
tramp
man.
stamp?
I got none. For years I've been thinking about getting tattoos, and I know what I would get if I were to get them. I'd have to get 4. I would do a big old horse on this shoulder. I would do an eagle on this shoulder, or no, the eagle goes on my back, a buffalo on this shoulder, horse on this shoulder, eagle on the back, and a coyote on my ankles. But yeah, I've got none.
I could imagine Lawrence coming out with just like a full neck tattoo and just like fully tatted under his shirt. Like unexpectedly, there's just Lawrence is just like, it's like the one of the basketball players, I think it's Jason Tatum or something. One of them only has tattoos under their jersey, so you can't see them when they're playing. Somebody
Nice.
like that. And
Yeah.
it's so funny because you're like, oh shit, that dude's tatted up. Like, damn,
Yeah.
man, you got some
I've thought
good
about it.
stuff.
I thought about like getting the eagle and it like its wings come up over my shoulders kind of thing, or there's like a feather that comes up the side of my neck. So you're like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Tease
I
them.
haven't pulled the trigger
Tease
on
them a
anything.
little. Tease them a little. It's all
Right.
about that tease.
Right. It's all about you're curious now. You want to see more. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Come see Papa Bear for more.
Right.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Come let me read
Come to
you a
Papa Bear's
story to
OnlyFans
bed
channel. You can
tonight.
see all of it.
Papa Bear is going to read you to bed tonight. Mm.
Right. Right.
That's hilarious.
I love the fact that we haven't even had to talk about some of these shitty people that are in the world today and the news and things that are common for everybody. I'm so glad that we can do this a little bit differently.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%, man. And I mean, you got to do that. You got to take because this fight it's never ending, right?
No.
This is all humanity's always been like this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And in a lot of ways, like what you're seeing is, with this it's partly an extinction event. It's these people that are trying desperately to get these voices, these people that have been here with us the whole time, to shut up, to go back in the closet, go back, basically,
To
and
disappear.
to disappear. And we're not, and again, I like going back to the bigotry. Like people approach me and do that because, again, if you look at my side that votes it, yeah, I mean, they got like a 65% chance of being right.
Mm-hmm.
They just picked me. They picked the wrong one.
Right.
And because and I'm one of those. I'm not one of those cute cuddly liberals. I'll let you know.
You're the fuck you left.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Like I'm just like, and again, that's height and weight privilege, and slam a forearm into your chest, Marine Corps privilege.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
There's
that's something Chris Goldsmith talked about was use your privilege. Like if you've got
Yeah.
privilege, if you're big and white and you're one of us who care, they use it. But he also said use it safely, especially if you're not like us and you don't look kind of like us, but you do know that there are some really shitty people in your area. Chris Goldsmith gave us an incredibly smart tip yesterday, and I want to reframe how I've been talking about it. If you find a Nazi in your neighborhood, send out mailers. Don't drop you can drop a pin on their house to make sure you're in the right area code, but send out mailers to everybody in your neighborhood just with a picture and a comment about what that person said. Don't, or even somebody who drives this car says these things. Don't even out them as a person. Don't say their name. Don't do anything like that because you're not trying to incite violence. You're
right.
trying to incite legal ramifications against that person. And it's all about a legal pushback because that legal pushback is maybe they have to now move. Maybe they lose their job. Maybe they get fined a lot of money and sued because of their hateful acts. Maybe they are no longer the preacher at church. Maybe they get divorced because their wife or husband or whoever didn't know that they believed those things. It's okay to ruin fascist lives. Let's be honest. It's okay to ruin fascist lives in legal ways. Sometimes it's okay to punch a Nazi, but we're not there yet. We're not back to the punching Nazis yet. We're at the let's legally ram them into the ground and just keep pounding the shit out of them.
Absolutely. And there's other ways even simpler ways you could do it. Like, so this is back in the day. This was after my partying phase had ended, right? And so I got a city girlfriend. She'd become my wife later. She was living with me at the time in East Tennessee before we got another spot. It was back when, so this is early aughts, right? Like 2002. And this is when, you had like the late night showings and all this other stuff. And that was the big thing back then. I think we were actually going to see can't remember. It was like Batman or something like that. I think we're going to see Batman, one of the Nolan movies. I'm in line. There's about like 40 people in this theater, right? And this guy, young dude, a little younger than me, starts yelling at his girlfriend, like at the top of his lungs. And it's starting to get worse. And he's getting right up in her face and she's shrinking down, and now I had bounced and I had done other stuff, so I wasn't I'd seen kind of stuff like this before, right? And I'm looking around, nobody's saying anything. Everyone's kind of acting like it's not happening, right? And so she's starting to cry, and all I say to him was, I go, "Yo," and he turns around, "We ain't here for this, man. Knock it off." And he's just like, he's like, "What?" I was like, "No, no, 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 no." And he says, "This isn't your business." Da da da. I said, "No, no, no. You making it all our business now. You want to do this here? You making it our business now. We ain't having this. You know. So you need to get the hell up out of here. Straight up.
Yeah.
You know." And it's like, "You can't make me leave." He's like, "I'm not gonna make you leave. Staff's gonna make you leave. Cause I'm gonna go." It's like, I was like, and my girlfriend I said, "My girl's going to get him right now. I'm gonna stay here and make sure you don't do nothing else to this poor young woman." And then he left.
Yeah.
Wife and I, girlfriend at the time, wife, like, we comforted this girl, said, "Hey, do you got anybody you can call? Let's call him, like, who do you feel safe with?" Da da da. Now that's an egregious example. I didn't have to put hands on the guy,
But it's
right?
not an egregious
And the thing
example
is, what I
anymore.
ultimately, this is what I forgot about this part of the story. This is what made him get out of here. When I said, "You need to leave," other people there was some women that spoke up. It was like, "Yeah, we don't want you here." Yeah. And it was like, all it took was me saying something, and then other people backed me up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to be the person to step out first.
You got to. Me,
You know,
so me and my boyfriend, right? So I'm me. I look, I'm 5'10" and bulky and, kind of look sort of like a badass. He's 6'5", right? And we were in Dallas for the eclipse and we just
Mm.
were out. We just went out and grabbed some food somewhere one night. There was this dude, packed bar, packed sports bar, like people watching all the screens, people partying. This dude and this girl start fighting and like screaming at the top of their lungs. And it's clear that he is a woman hater. He's clear, like you could just tell this dude was abusive. And they go outside and they're standing at the door right outside the window of the table we're sitting at. And we see what's going on. And we both got up and went outside and stood there. And, and he was smoking and and we basically just looked at the dude and we were like, this isn't how we treat women. And it stopped them both dead. Right. And the dude was like, this isn't any of your business. We were like, this isn't how you treat women.
yeah,
And he got it, like they left and God help her, she voluntarily chose to get in the car with that dude and leave. But sometimes you just got to fucking take a stand, like
yeah.
show
It's just
people.
it's a little bravery, and it goes a
Right.
long way.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like, you know, you can't expect change in the world if when you're in public and you see something and you don't, you want to just ignore it. You want to just ignore it, right? If these people are going to do this in the public space, it is your business, because
Exactly.
we're all sharing this space, right?
Hmm.
And again, it wasn't me that made, to reiterate, it wasn't me that made the guy leave. I was just the first guy to say something. It was the other three or four. Yeah, yeah, man, that's not, yeah. And then that's what it was,
Yeah.
Hmm.
The
you
thing
know?
that made us crazy is when we went back inside afterwards, we were talking to the gal who was the server. And we were like, yeah, like that couple. And she's like, oh, yeah, now everybody knows he's an abuser, like we tried to tell her. And I'm just like, literally nobody else up in this place was willing to say anything and like run the risk of getting into a fucking fight. And everyone knows this girl is leaving with this dude who's going to beat her. Like, what the fuck, people?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
know,
you got to be brave, just a little bit. Like the find out guys keep saying it too is like we're gonna be we're now in a place where Americans have to put themselves in situations we're slightly uncomfortable with.
hmm
Yeah.
America as a society in general is fairly timid in terms of how we respond to each other. We're very Southern gentle. Is we say pleasantries out front and we hate each other behind, or we're assholes behind the mask. Like there's
you
a
can say
mad,
it. We got too many punks. We got way too many little punks.
yeah.
Right.
But
You know,
we're too afraid to say something to those little punks because we've become so brainwashed into thinking that pushing back against right-wing hate and bigotry and these terrible ideas is intolerant, and it's not. It's
Right.
just, it's, I tolerate my space of existence and the space of existence for people around me, that they have sovereignty over their bodies, and they should deserve to have the same values and care that I do. So don't take that away from them.
And
Like,
I'll point this out like real quick. I'm not saying none of us are saying you have to do it like I did.
Mm-mm.
But here's a fact. We don't know about George Floyd unless a brave 17-year-old girl pulls out her camera phone and stays.
Yeah.
absolutely.
We don't know about that kid who just who was arrested by ICE, who's a US citizen, because he dropped his phone down and kept recording when they told him, you ain't got no fucking rights.
Yep.
You're illegal, you ain't got no rights. And he was like, I'm a citizen. I was born and raised here. You know what?
Mhm.
He got racially profiled because he was brown.
Right.
I'm going to just say he was not white and he got racially profiled. That is what we're dealing with right now, which means if you are white, or if you have any power or any empathy for other people's existence, pull out your damn phone. The least you can do is record it, or even go live on TikTok or live on Substack or live anywhere. Just record it. Record it, because then they are the issue, not us. We're not the issue. One, in the first place, we're not the issue. But then you see that stuff happen, and we don't see all the other times it doesn't,
Yeah.
which means
And
it's happening.
I'll tell you guys straight up, I've been in a lot of confrontations. I've been in a lot of hard conversations throughout my life, both as just tussling, raising hell when I was like 20 years old, or working security, or really just being a leader and having those corporate tough conversations. Every single time I was nervous or I was scared. Every time, you know.
Yeah.
That
Mhm.
bravery is doing the thing that needs to be done when you're
Even if
scared.
it scares you.
It's not
Even if it scares
bravery
the
is
shit
not
out of
the
you.
absence of fear. It is
Right.
doing the thing despite that fear, or
Yeah.
because of that fear.
Yeah.
And you
And
may be, and it may fall to you, like, to say, like, you may be 5 foot nothing and timid, and it's just you and a phone, and you saying, "Hey, I don't think we should do that. That's not right."
right.
Mhm.
And
I gotta say, like, this is one of those, maybe embarrassed to admit things, right? Like, I've always felt like I was not racist and an ally to people of color in this country. And it wasn't really until Black Lives Matter and George Floyd that I really started to examine my own assumptions about how I could show up and be an ally. And I don't remember who said it first. And I think it's a thing that people acknowledge now and say, which is, like, if you are white, like, the definition of white privilege is that you can say and articulate unpopular opinions and not risk your life or your freedom or your safety or the safety of your family. And realizing that, like, it is my job as a, relatively straight looking cis white dude to speak up for the people who can't speak up for themselves, or who, have experienced so much oppression that they just don't speak up for themselves anymore. And that's the thing that we've all got to get through our head. Because, Nick, it's playing into that thing that you said earlier. We're at a time in American history where, if you think that you can just sit back and ride this one out until the Nazi thing is over and we get
nope.
through authoritarianism, you are fucking wrong. It is
Mhm.
your job to either, like, you're going to be a fucking Nazi or you're going to be a Nazi killer. And I'm not advocating violence,
Nazi
blah, blah,
hunter.
blah. Nazi
Nazi
hunter.
hunter. Let's go with Nazi hunters.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
You're right. You're right.
here's
More
the thing.
inglorious bastard.
Right.
Here's the thing. And look,
Nazis.
I
Yeah.
used to be. I was a bigot against gay people, right? Because that's how it wasn't my parents who raised me that way. It was this culture I was in the
Yep.
Bible Belt. I thought it was they were, psychologically confused. That's what I thought,
Yeah.
and even then, evolving, right, took time. It was like, because I went to, oh, well, I mean, yeah, because like somebody said to me, bro, if I had the choice to not be gay and not put up all this bigotry and not put up all this stuff that I'm going through, don't you think I'd do it? And I'm like, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay. All right, well, do what you want. It still gives me the ick, but do what you want. So I got there. It really wasn't until I started organizing, and this is 2012 that because I was never around gay people.
Mhm.
I never associated with them. Not because I didn't want to. It's just it wasn't my scene, you
Right.
know, and I probably wasn't a safe person, right, for them to hang out with. And I started organizing with folks, and I had a conversation with a guy who was willing to have it with me, and I said, "Man, I don't understand. Like, why? What do we got to do all this stuff, right? I mean, it's like, so you don't say you're gay. It's whose business is it, right? What does it matter?" And he told me, he says, "Here's the difference. You go into a job and they find out you're married or you have a girlfriend. Are you in fear of losing your job?" I'm like, "No, I am. If they find out I have a boyfriend
Right.
or I'm
If
gay, I'm
anything, if
like,
they find out you're straight and you've got you're married and you got kids,
oh, he's stable. Shoot,
right?
give that
Right,
man a
exactly.
promotion."
Yeah,
You
right.
know,
We're gonna promote this guy. He needs to raise these kids. He's not going anywhere.
and that hit me like a thunderbolt. I was like, damn. Okay, yeah, no, that's fucked
Hmm.
up. We got to do something about it. And I mean, but it was literally like it was those blind spots that I had that I didn't examine because I was never forced to examine them. I
Sure,
was ne-
exactly.
I
All
was
it
never
takes is a
forced.
curious mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's the same thing with the patriarchal mindset that I had with women, right?
Hmm.
You know, it's like, well, yeah, I can have sex with as many women as I want to. I mean, that's my right as a virile man. It's like, there's some women you have sex with, and then, those are the, promiscuous chicks, but you don't marry them, right? And you marry the good girl. It's like you get your wild oats out and then you go marry the good girl. And it's like, bro, isn't that kind of messed up? And so that's the thing that led me to unpack that. I had to start there and I had to build it, right?
Hmm.
And so, it's you don't have to be a perfect person. You don't have to be like, it's not about this purity stuff. It's not about it's literally just, are you trying to act in good faith and you trying to help? That's it.
Yeah. Frederick,
Start
I
there.
can't tell you the number of times I've had the conversation like that, where someone's been like, but why? And I'm like, bro, if I could pray the gay away, I would be the straightest man alive right now. Like, I grew up desperately not wanting to be gay, like, literally prayed to God a billion and one times. Oh, please take this away from me. Like, Jesus, like, I was raised Jewish, but Jesus, if you can make this go away, I will be on your side, right? Buddha, Muhammad, whoever wants to step up and take this from me. And that's not the way it works, right?
Yeah.
And I think when people can finally hear that, whether it's with gayness, whether it's with transness, whatever it may be. And I will admit to you, as a gay man, I had an issue with trans people when I was coming out, because the one thing I didn't want to be, like, I finally realized I was gay and I couldn't change that. But what I desperately didn't want to be perceived at was somebody who wanted to be a woman, right? And
Yeah.
so I had my own issues to deal with in terms of understanding trans folks and the trans experience, and I had to walk that road. And now what I realize is trans people are as innately trans as I am gay. That's it.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I mean, and that's because, again, if you didn't have to be trans in this society and what they do,
Right.
my God, why
Why
would
would you
you?
choose that? Right.
Why?
Hmm.
You wouldn't choose that. You'd be like, I'll choose anything else other than that.
But
Right.
it's who they are. It's who you are as a person. You can't change your personhood. You can
You
accept
know,
your personhood.
right. And so it should incense everybody, for these people who were not given a choice, that this is where they're at, and they get beat up, they get discriminated, they get like marginalized and otherized and every other thing. It ain't right.
No,
It's not right.
no.
You know.
So we're gonna close out our Wizards talk. I'm gonna shift just for a second because Fred, you and I got an engagement in 10 minutes that we're going to that I
My
want
God,
you
don't
to
put our
announce.
business out in the street. Jesus.
What's
Jesus.
that? What are you guys doing another live? What's next?
Yeah,
So
Fred,
we
you
are doing
wanna?
one
It's
with
yours.
yeah, we're doing one with who's it?
Mike
Mike
Nellis,
Mike Nellis.
Nealis.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been trying to Mike, we're gonna talk about organizing and Epstein, and because Mike is a former organizer online. He has raised over $1 billion for Democrats.
God damn.
And I was like, dude, I am a former Obama slash Democratic organizer, Ruby Red, East Tennessee, 2012. What's up? And I'm like, holla at your boy. And so he's like, yeah, let's do it live. So there you go. You know,
And so we're going to go talk to him, which is going to be freaking awesome. But
yes.
looping back into today's discussion, all of what we've been talking about in the end is about like integrity in your values, having good ethics, standing up for the right things and not compromising your morals and your integrity to fit fascists. Like that's really all it is don't compromise your morals and ethics to fit fascists. So I wrote a poem last night, not a haiku. This was the second of our civic sonnets.
Mm,
Um, and I wanted to read today's because it's called Stand for Integrity. And this conversation really comes down to your integrity as a person is that's really who you are. To me, at least, that's one of the most important things about people is your integrity, because that's your trust. That's the trust I give you as a person. And I trust that you're who you are and who you say you are, and that you believe what you say you believe until you break it. And
Hmm?
so I think integrity is super important. So I wanted to write a poem about it. So
Dig it.
this is Stand for Integrity.
mm,
Civics is engagement with a purpose. Purposely act you rise to stand up tall, taller than hate, shedding off the targets. Targeting back you rise, stand for the call. Calling us all, stand for integrity. It's integral to rise, for we are wise. Wiser service we wait unexpectedly. Expectedly change to rise, we free of lies. Lying always, we shred straight through the hate. Hatred, hateful no more to rise, ethics take hold. Holding a line, push back the storm, abate. Abating rage to rise, ethically bold. Bolder we are, arising from the flame. Bolder are we, powering in our claim.
mm. Yeah.
Nice.
What is
Thank
that
you.
form called again? Where each line starts with the last word of the line prior. What
I don't really know the like,
my friend Shar would know this. Like yeah. Like I know that's a particular thing. Fucking love
and I
it.
use it in a lot of my sonnets as I love the repetition and the pounding because it brings it, it feels like it's motion in
Phr-
words.
Phrasing. Just, dude, phrasing. Come on, man.
Yeah.
I love phrasing, man.
Phrasing.
Why do you
Phrasing.
think I put those phrases in there?
Yeah.
Like, no. I'm the pounding, phrasing, bro. Like, come on.
It is pounding. It's hard. It hits hard, brother.
Uh,
Um, Boulder, Boulder we are.
Mm-hmm.
So, friends, what a
Dudes,
great day.
always
Dudes,
great
yeah,
talking to you guys.
brothers,
yeah.
wizards in arms. Let's go be the three bearded wizards for freedom. And everyone, Fred, Lawrence, you guys got anything to say before we close it out?
Now, other than I'm jumping on a live, apparently my schedule got eaten up by Substack, so I'm gonna get Mike and my man Nick on that one. Oh, also Saturday special live, early morning. Me and myself, Lawrence Winterman, we are interviewing Anna Wick. She was one of the first people that subbed to me. She's great. We are going to talk about women's issues and her coming out of the evangelical movement. So it's going to be really awesome. So good
What
stuff.
time is that at, Fred?
That is at I believe 9 a.m. my time, so 11 your time.
Sweet.
Yeah. Yeah. And then 8 her time because she's West Coast. She's like she's gonna set an alarm. So that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
Nice. Nice.
And then what you got tomorrow, Lawrence?
Well, I'm hanging out with Fred and Anna tomorrow morning at 11 my time, East Coast time, and then at noon, East Coast time, Dana and I are doing our live karaoke celebration for hitting 50 paid subscribers at Gen XE. Even though we've
Yeah.
already celebrated 60, we're doing some karaoke tomorrow. And I know my first song is going to be Material Girl, sung in the voice of Henry
Yeah.
Kissinger. Yeah, Henry
Nice.
Kissinger sings Material Girl. So
That's going to be so fun. I'm so excited.
Living in a material world.
some boys kiss me, some boys hug me. I think they're okay.
Oh my goodness. I love it. All right, I'm gonna
I
jump
love it.
on
All
to
right,
the next
guys.
one.
Have a great day, brothers.
Thank
Thanks,
you everyone
guys.
for
See
tuning
everyone
in.
again.
Take
Great
care.
show. Love it.
Talk to you
I'll
soon.
catch you guys later.
Catch you
Bye,
later.
guys.